Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about Darakaraka in the 5th house of the Navamsa chart. Okay, so Darakaraka is the planet that holds the lowest degree in your birth chart, not in the Navamsa chart, in the birth chart. Okay, and it tells about your spouse, the basic characteristics of your spouse, even when the marriage will take place. All these things are known from the Darakaraka. Okay, so it is a very important planet. Even if you don't look at the seventh lord, okay, then also just by looking at the Darakaraka, you can tell so many things regarding your marriage and regarding your spouse and regarding what you actually desire from your spouse. So it is a very important planet which we have to see in the chart. Okay, now, what happens when Darakaraka is placed in the 5th house of the Navamsa chart? So, 5th house of the Navamsa chart is a very important house. The 1st house, the 5th house, and the 9th house. Okay, so these houses are the Dharm Trikon houses, and these are the basically the base houses. Okay, if these houses are strong in your Navamsa chart, then it shows that your marriage is going to be good. Okay, these are the base houses and they need to be strong. This is the destiny of your marriage. This is the luck of your marriage. How much easygoing and lucky you will be after marriage. Okay, and what bhagya purva punya you are bringing, past life deeds that will help you to get married. This is also the house of romance, fulfillment of desire, and this house also shows the gains of your spouse, because this is 11th from 7th house. It shows gains of your spouse, source of gain of your spouse. Okay, it also shows friends network of your spouse and happiness that you will derive from your spouse. Okay, what desires of your spouse you will fulfill. Okay, whether your karma was good in the past life or not, this is also seen from this. And evolution of soul after marriage, spirituality, spiritual development, and the intelligence that you use in the marriage, because marriage is a very delicate relationship, and if it is not dealt with properly, because everyone like has to put efforts, both the parties, both the spouses have to put the effort to make the marriage work, otherwise it won't work and break. And for that we require so much intelligence, patience, and wisdom. Okay, that's why Saturn delays, because most of the people, they don't know how to deal with the marriage. Even the little things will happen, they will want to break up or they want to leave, or so experience is very important to deal with any relationship. So this house shows the experience that you are bringing from the past life, because if you have experience, then only you will deal with a particular relationship in a proper manner. If you don't have intelligence, you won't be able to deal with it, right? So that is the thing that it shows. Now, what happens when Darakaraka, the planet that holds the lowest degree, the planet that shows about your spouse, is sitting in the 5th house? So it shows that your spouse will be a very intelligent person. Your spouse will help you to increase your intelligence. Your spouse will be artistic, creative, and will be like a teacher to you. Okay, your spouse will also be very good with your children. This house also shows children, so a very good relationship with the children. Now depends upon the planet, like Mars and Saturn or Rahu Ketu, they can show some relationship issues with the children, but other planets, they show good relationship with the children. Okay, so your bhagya will rise because of your spouse. So your spouse is actually going to be very lucky for you. Okay, lucky spouse. Your spouse is going to be lucky for you. Your luck will increase. After marriage, you will also have the desire to study. Okay, like if you will want to pursue education. It also shows that your spouse is coming from the past life. There is a past life connection, and normally it is a good connection. normally base it is a good connection, okay, because no matter whichever planet is here, this is the fifth house, this is a good house, so yes. But signs and other things differ. If exalted, then it's really good. So good or bad past life connection has to be seen depending upon the planets, okay. And also will be artistic, creative, and you and your spouse will have same kind of hobby. Like basically if moon or Mercury or Venus is there, then so much romance and enjoyment you both are going to do. Sun here burns this house, okay, dominating spouse. And like ego, sometimes ego can come in your mind while dealing with the matters of marriage and relationship, so you have to keep the ego aside. You don't have to bring the ego in the marriage, otherwise it won't be good, because ego is not good. But that thing will happen because sun is here, so it will bring dryness in romance, because sun is the planet that dries the qualities of the house or little burns the qualities. So dryness in romance or ego issues, but it will give authoritative spouse, and someone who will have the authoritative position in the, can be in the government or can be in the business or anywhere, authoritative position, okay. And a dominating spouse, authoritative spouse basically. So, what you have to do, you have to take the decisions regarding your marriage, relationships, keeping your ego aside, keeping your anger aside. Then only you will be able to take the right decision. Now, if it is moon, so moon is well placed here. You desire romance. So, as your spouse, a very good emotional bond will be formed with your spouse. There will be love between you both. There will be romance between you both. Chances of love marriage are there. You only desire romance. Money and all is not a first priority for you. Your first priority is emotional connection, true love, deep love, and providing motherly care to your spouse and receiving the same. So, that kind of motherly care and emotions and all that you desire from your spouse, okay. Now if it is Venus, so Venus obviously it shows love, marriage, romantic bond. Your spouse is actually going to bring luck in your life, will be very creative, artistic. You can meet your spouse through party or restaurant or any hangout place, or through friends, social media, some place basically where there is enjoyment. People go for enjoyment. Your spouse will also be very romantic. You want to have romance in the relationship, so romance will be there. Money will increase. Your spouse will have a good community, okay. If it is Aquarius and Venus and Sun are sitting here, then we'll have a very good community, very big community. After marriage you both can become really famous. You both can make a YouTube channel, and also you can become famous in that area, okay. Then if it is Mercury shows intelligent spouse, logical spouse, youthful spouse. Intelligent spouse, logical spouse, youthful spouse. Your spouse will be interested in education. Now when the problem will occur in marriage, when situation will not be good, like arguments and all that, you will be the one who will think that it is better to communicate and solve the issue. If basically Mercury goes in the Aries sign, then you will become very restless and impulsive, and you can say anything, okay. Like if you got to know that your spouse was talking to someone else, okay, without knowing the truth, you will just go and ask in anger, were you talking to someone else and all that. So you have to control it, okay. You have to be patient. So depending upon the sign, impulsive sign or not, if it is in Cancer, like Mercury in the Cancer, and you got to know something that your spouse was doing which you didn't like, okay, so you will be become very emotional, and in a very emotional manner you will communicate, or you will stop talking or something like that. But communication becomes very important, and a very good communication will be there. Also artistic spouse, your spouse can be in the business or can be doing something related to business studies, commerce, economics, and all that things, okay. If it is Mars, so Mars is a planet that shows your spouse is very technical spouse, logical spouse, okay. So here what happens, whenever fights, arguments happen in the relationship, you both really argue very badly, so that should not happen. Very passionate romance. If Mars Venus are there, then too much passionate romance. So passion in the romance relationship will be there. Doing anything to save the marriage, doing anything to save the relationship. Okay. And also you will be very protective of your spouse and the relationship. Your spouse will love physical activities. Your spouse will always want to like involve in sports or something that requires physical activities, so something like that. Your spouse will also be obedient and will have anger issues. So what you have to do here, you have to avoid the fights and arguments in the relationship, so that your relationship with your spouse is good and not bad, because marriage is a delicate thing, and in that fights arguments should not be there, because it is a love relationship. So in love and relationship, fights and arguments should be avoided. Okay. Now, if it is Saturn, so Saturn here first delays the relationship and it slows down the romance. So basically, in the marriage, romance is secondary thing. What is important is um, duty, commitment, loyalty. To save your marriage or to get married, you will have to put lots of efforts, like not finding the right partner, finding the wrong partner, always having trouble. So all that stuff can happen. So you have to be careful. Okay. You have to be careful regarding that. Now, a Saturn also shows delay in childbirth. Okay. So Saturn placed here, it gives a spouse who is a cold natured, can be older to you, can be wise and matured. So basically, when fights or arguments can happen in the marriage, you are, or both the spouse are going to be like they don't want to communicate, or coldness or separation can come, like no communication can happen between both of them. So that thing can happen, but you will have to put lots of efforts for making the marriage work. Okay. Also, your spouse will help you to fulfill your desires. Your spouse will have old people in the community. Okay, can be doing any kind of business. Okay. Or will be dealing with people, can be also associated with some social work. Okay. So Saturn here shows that you have to learn what is marriage and how to handle a relationship, because you were not able to do it in the past life, and your spouse as a teacher is going to teach you how your spouse is going to do that. He's going to do that by giving creating certain situations in which you will have no choice but to understand and learn the lessons. Okay. Because Darakaraka is Saturn. Now, if it is Jupiter, so Jupiter is very good here. It shows Bhagya will rise after marriage. You can deal with the matters of your marriage very wisely, in a very matured manner. Okay, if you fights, arguments also occur, so you are always going to forgive your spouse, even if you think that you don't have any mistake. Still, you are going to say sorry. Still, you are going to like, even in the worst situation, you are going to be with your spouse. This placement gives a spouse who is like a teacher, a good teacher. Okay, a dharmic teacher. Okay. So if it comes to love, romance and all that thing, basically a teacher student kind of relationship will be there, more than being too much romantic or being too much emotional. So wise decisions will be taken in the marriage and the relationship. Okay, the relation the decisions that are based upon a proper wise thinking. Like if you want to separate also, it will be a wise decision, not like all the time fighting arguments. So that will not happen. A very wise matured kind of relationship, understanding will be very good. So it is a very good placement, shows good karma from the past life, but it also brings delays in education and children and all. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Bye bye.